Did I say that right?
Yes, you did, ma'am.
Good.
I get like a mental thing when I talk to Exchange Club. I confuse it all the time with Rotary. I don't know why that is.
Separate organization.
I know.
Very different.
It's just, you know.
Good organization, the
Yeah,
Rotary
both
Club.
good organizations. But they're my guests today. We're going to get to them in a minute. I want to tell you that I just came from, and the reason we're a couple minutes late, thank you, Methuen Community Studios, for covering for the mayor. We did the grand opening at Jocelyn's on Merrimack Street, and let me tell you, you're in for delight. The food is excellent. I had a couple of chicken kebabs and some hummus bitahini, and with the red onion and the Syrian bread. I'm an old timer. Fabulous, fabulous. So they're open tonight. It's a dreary Wednesday night. If you don't feel like cooking, go on down to Jocelyn's or Sevmar. They got two locations. One that's just in Salem, New Hampshire, past the mayor's house, and now one on Merrimack Street, Methuen, that's doing the grand opening. Get down there and tell them the mayor sent you, right? Because these small businesses are the lifeblood of our community. They keep us going. They invest in our sports team. They invest in, Little League and lacrosse and all these other things, and they really are the heart and soul of our community. So we want to make sure we patronize them. So go down to Jocelyn's tonight, have your dinner down there, and again, tell them the mayor sent you. Now I'm gonna go. So you two are what we call neophytes to the mayor's show, right? Okay, and so here's how this works. You two are experts on specific topics. Any softball questions that come in, the mayor owns them. Anything with any weight or difficulty to it, you two own them, right? Because whether you know it or not, I'm going to start by saying Methuen Community Studios, I love this. So we've changed our medium from Facebook to YouTube. Going to say it again. And the good part is we can see how many people are watching the Mayor's Minutes. So while not a lot of people watch the Mayor's Minutes live, it gets a lot of replays during the week, which is good. So our medium's changed from Facebook to YouTube. You can submit live questions on the Methuen Community Studios YouTube channel. And I'm going to pause here and pump the tires of Methuen Community Studios, who are true, what I consider business partners for the city of Methuen, right? Not only just for what they do here in studio, all the different shows that they do. I know they're doing one on mental health, and we've got the mental health task force, and so we've got a good story to tell there, a developing process to address many of the issues in our city. But Methuen Community Studios is also actively involved in televising the city council meetings, televising the board and commission meetings, and we don't ever want them to know, we don't ever want them to think that goes unappreciated, because this mayor clearly does. And if you think back to when Mayor's Minutes started, you may not know, it started during COVID. And this show began as a daily tracking mechanism for where the hot spots were in the city, how many people were infected.
All the numbers, all the math, right?
Yeah. And we did that, I don't want to say unfortunately, we did that for probably 4 to 6 months till we started turning a corner. And then this show evolved into what its current, format. So we like to bring on organizations such as the Methuen Exchange Club. I know you guys have got a big event coming up. We'll get into that. It's one of the mayor's favorite events in the city. And when you get to the mayor's stage of life, it's all about eating, right? It's all about eating. But I love the event. I love more what the event does for the organization and what the organization does for people in the community, right? So we're going to talk through all of that. So just keep in mind, if you're out there and you're watching, I just talked to Jocelyn herself when we did the grand opening, and I said, hey, I got to get you on the show. Because we want to give our small businesses an opportunity to come on and be seen and talk about what they're doing. We had, probably over a year ago, Merrimack Valley Golf Course came on and trying to parlay the new restaurant there. They talked about the concept of it, and I'm delighted to see the foot traffic that's going in there, right? That's what we want to see in Methuen. And let me tell you, there's a lot more good news coming, right? And I'm going to 54 Osgood Street, right behind the fireplace, stretching up from Shoddy's to where the rail trail is in that brick warehouse building. that is about to go under purchase and sale. That's great news. And one of the things that's going to go there is a steakhouse. And the mayor is tickled pink at that because, we've got a number of fantastic restaurants in the city, but more what I'd consider like comfort food, right? And I think I told you that I talked to former Mayor Manzi this week. His building has sold. That's great news. So the redevelopment downtown can continue. That's important. So lots of good news coming. I don't want to kind of drown it out, but let's introduce our guests again if we could. We have Linda Buell and Jack MacLeod from the Methuen Exchange Club. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Mayor.
My prattling stops and your prattling starts at this point. So, tell me a little, before we start, Jack and Linda, whoever go first, just tell me a little bit about yourself. Give the people watching a background, who you are, what you do, that kind of thing.
Personal background, like?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've lived in the town of Methuen my entire life.
Yeah.
I just had a birthday last week. I don't want to mention the age, but I'll tell you, I lived in this town for 68 years.
There you go.
Okay. I've been with the Exchange Club since 1990, November of 1990.
Wow.
So you can do that math. Great organization. Neil mentioned something when we first came in. I've known Neil Perry's family since I was little. Neil's known my family since they were little. That generation is gone, but Neil and I are still around. So
Still around.
I'm glad you're the mayor.
Still
You're doing
connected.
a great thing.
Still connected.
I've been retired myself for 11 years now. I did a career in the federal government in 2 different locations simultaneously at the same time.
Yeah.
I worked for the General Services Administration, and I did a career in the military after active duty. When I went to work for GSA, I went into the National Guard, and I spent 20 years there. So I'm collecting some small pensions, and I'm getting by in life.
Yeah.
But I belong to the Exchange Club, and it's a great organization because I have people like this.
Before we turn over to Linda, thank you for your service, number one.
You're welcome.
We appreciate that. I'm going to say this. I know people say, oh, Mayor, you're full of... This is still the greatest country on the face of God's earth.
It is.
Right? And I will fight anybody who says otherwise.
I'll help you.
I say that candidly. So don't pay attention to those knuckleheads down in Washington. This is the greatest country on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Right? Any country where you can voice your views and not get thrown into a gulag, right? You're talking some positive timekeeping there. So yeah, we have known each other forever, like family. And I'm gonna repeat the story on the air that I told Linda. So I only saw my dad cry twice in my life. One was when my father died. My brother died. It would be hard for him to cry when he died. My brother died. My father cried. And the only other time was when Jack MacLeod's father died. My dad was really close to the MacLeods. We used to spend a lot of time with the MacLeods.
The drive-in theater.
At the drive-in theater, yeah. I know I'm a nut. I still think drive-in theaters can make it. But I'm also...
I like the drive-in theaters.
Yeah, I'm also a fan of home, like dairy delivery. I try to tell my kids, Linda, there's no comparison.
Milk in the box?
Milk in the box, right? And you got eggnog once or twice a year.
That's right.
Right? Like either for Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving, and then one for Christmas itself.
Correct.
Right? You got a quart of eggnog. I grew up in a family of 5. I think about that, it's just
family of 7. We used to get
right?
eggnog and the milk in the box. Yep.
So, Linda, a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I have lived in Methuen for about almost 25 years, and born and raised in Lawrence. And I joined the Methuen Exchange Club in the year of 2000, pretty much when I actually came to Methuen. And right away, they make you the president. So I was the president, and I've been the president for 3 times. You too, Jeff.
3 times.
Yes, 3 times.
Me too.
And it is a very personal passion of mine, belonging to the Exchange Club. But I've lived and worked in the city that I love. I'm a branch manager and a vice president of M&T Bank on Jackson Street. I've been there almost my entire career, with a little jaunt across town for a little while.
Yeah.
I love serving the people of Methuen.
Yeah.
I believe that we're a small town bank, even though we have a big name, and my customers are like my family, just like my exchange people are my family.
Yeah. Good to hear.
It's a wonderful group of people that you can call in a moment's notice, and they'll be right by your side, and they will help you, and they'll help anybody in the town that needs some help. So it's a wonderful group.
I love that you said that, because I think, you know, one of the things that we can all get rooted in, especially with social media, is it's easy to complain about this or that, right? There's so many good things going on in the city of Methuen, right? And, you know, I want to kind of give you a second here, both of you, to talk about, let's talk before we get into the event itself, because, you know, the mayor's going to want to talk about, let's talk about the mission of the Exchange Club, because I think that's something that people need to understand.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
This isn't just out there just to raise funds and so you can, you know, have little get-togethers and
so
clinches.
the National Exchange Club's main function is the prevention of child abuse.
Yep.
Okay? So if you look at all of our programs of service, all of the things we do in the community, it involves children.
Amen.
Okay?
Yeah.
We spend an awful lot of time, a couple of times a year, over at St. Anne's Home. Mm-hmm. It's a sad place, but it's a happy place.
Yeah.
I mean, those kids, we'll bring them a dinner, or we'll have a cookout, and it's please and thank you, please and thank you. Can I have seconds? I mean, it's heartbreaking, but it's children.
Yeah.
And there's some abused children that live there, and so the prevention of child abuse fits in. Now, Arlington neighborhood, we help Linda Susie a couple times a year.
Yeah.
We do a Christmas party. We give them some money for a Christmas party. We give them baskets for 12 people at Thanksgiving, 12 people for Christmas time.
Yep.
Little kids come to the door. We go right in the house. We bring them a Christmas or a Thanksgiving dinner. So everything revolves around children. We do a little work over at the Y now and then.
Yep.
We give out 5 scholarships a year to Methuen kids.
Yes, you do. Yep.
Okay, 5 scholarships, $1,500 scholarships.
So Jack talks about the kids, but we also do a lot of other things too. You know, we pass out flags twice a year at the Memorial Day Parade, and we pass out flags at the Veterans Day Parade.
Yeah.
And we have a program, it's called Give a Kid a Flag to Wave, but
we
love to give everybody a flag to wave because, you know, it's all about our patriotism and by us passing out the flags, and we walk in the parade. Well, they walk, I ride now. And
just ordered some today, by the way.
Me too. Me too.
There you go. And you know, everybody can get a flag. So it's really good. You know, we also do other things for people that just need some help. We have built wheelchair ramps. We have built the little school book houses with the books in it.
Little free library. It's over the Y.
You know, so we do all of those things. But then we also honor the police and the fire. We honor a veteran every year. You know, we honor residents and businesses that fly our flag because, again, that's one of our pillars is Americanism. So we do all of those things too. And everything that we raise, we give away.
That's
you know?
a great thing.
And none of us get paid for it. We all do this because
Book
we
of
love
Golden
it.
Deeds too.
We also recognize somebody that does a lot of good things in town and doesn't expect any congratulations.
Like Don Smariglia was the last one, right?
He was.
Yeah.
You know, and
he was mad at me when I called him. He said, find somebody else.
Yeah. Well, just like when I gave you the foundation award, right?
I said, find somebody else. But,
so I love everything you just said there, right? And I love, most importantly, that you said Americanism, because I worry in this day and age that people frown on a term like that.
We don't.
Right? Nor does the mayor, to be honest with you. I think it's not wrong for us to be proud of.
I wish I would have brought the little write-up that shows those different areas that we focus in on. I can't remember them all. Americanism is one of them. Community service is another one.
Prevention of child
Prevention
abuse.
of child abuse. That's 3
Look
of
at
them.
Linda coaching Jack through this.
Well, you know, she reads
Good
better.
job.
I never studied the books that good, Neil.
Typically, when we run a program or we are putting something on, it's usually Jack and I that kind of
Go off each other.
we play off each other just to make sure that we don't forget anything and that we've shown that the mission of exchange is being followed and
Well, and it's an important message. It's an important mission, right? So I go back to what you said on Americanism. I think people say, well, confuse that with nationalism, right? That's not what this is about, right? So I want to make sure people understand. This is not a nationalistic. This is pride in country, right? Basically,
we're all proud. Yeah, we're all proud to be American.
Right.
When we start our meetings every time, we always start with a prayer and a pledge.
Yeah.
And anybody that comes to the meetings are going to hear that.
Correct.
We're going to go to the meeting tonight.
Right.
And that'll be one of the things that we
Pledge of
say.
Allegiance and an invocation.
So you have a meeting tonight?
Yeah.
We do.
We had to move it one night this month.
Excuse me.
Coley Ryan asked us if we could move our meeting.
Yeah.
He asked us. We sure we could.
Yeah.
He takes care of us.
Go on in. He's a pretty good singer, that Cody Ryan. So,
Hey.
but I'm going to keep backing up, and I apologize for that. I love everything you said, and I think sometimes I worry that younger people, are walking around with a slight embarrassment to be an American, and I say this candidly. I'm not embarrassed. Right? I go back to this is still the greatest country on the face of the earth. And we are fortunate to be here and to live under the blanket of freedom that our soldiers, sailors, Air Force, Coast Guardsmen, whoever, that they provide for us, right? So this is a wonderful place to live. And I worry sometimes that there's so much bickering at the national level that message kind of gets lost. How fortunate we are to live in a country like this, right? And are there things that we should do to improve it? Absolutely. But, if we just focus on the negative, we could be up all night, right? And I'm talking, whether you're talking from the city perspective or the national perspective, right? So, all right, let's talk a little bit about some of the events now, because you do a lot of events. So let's, before we get into the one the mayor wants to talk about, let's talk about, like, you every year you honor a police officer and a fireman, a fire person, I guess.
Firefighter.
Who has gone above and beyond.
Correct.
And so.
So what we do is we sponsor it.
Yeah.
But we don't pick it.
Right.
We have the police chief or the fire chief and their staffs pick it because they're the experts.
Those are two guys that can't pick anything.
Huh?
So they can't pick anything.
Well, you know what? They've done pretty good in the last several years.
We used to pick it.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
Pick it, yeah.
And it became very difficult because we didn't really know the ins and outs, or
Correct.
some of the things might be whether it's proprietary or confidential or could be anything. But so now they do pick it, and they provide us with some background.
Yeah.
And we do honor them because everyone used to think the cops or the firefighters are they got a cushy job or this, but they put their lives in danger every day.
Every minute.
We had a big fire in Methuen last night.
Oh, we did?
Just on Lowell Street, a huge fire.
Lowell Street where?
Trying to remember the number. Don't ask me.
I live off of Lowell Street. I don't hear a thing when I go to bed.
Yeah, well,
you live off of Lowell Street.
Gone are the days when I was explaining to somebody, I'm a child of the fire horn at the station telling you there's no school for snow, right? That's how old I am, Linda, right? We didn't call BZ.
Well, he's older than me. I don't remember that one.
No school. All right.
All right, so police and fire.
Police and fire, go ahead.
Yep. A veteran of the year. We came out with that one about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Because you know what?
And you work with Jensen on that, Paul Jensen?
We gave it to him one year.
Yeah.
But usually in my background, belonging to the DAV as well.
Yeah.
I can go off of them, and it's got to be a Methuen resident though.
Yeah.
And they always come. Oh, I got a guy from Lawrence. Well, go check with the Lawrence Exchange Club because everything about us is Methuen, Neil.
Yeah.
So
do the. You can call me Neil.
Yeah.
You asked the question. There's multiple exchange clubs in.
There are.
Correct.
Do they ever get together?
Yes.
All the time.
We're getting together at the end of the month up in Maine for a couple of days. The New England District, all the way from Maine, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Mass, and that's about it, right? Yeah.
And this Friday, the Lawrence Exchange is running a fight night, and I know that my daughter and I, along with Brad and Kathy and Mike, they were all going,
Yeah.
just to Well, to help them,
Help support, yeah.
to support them, but it's also a fun night.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
watch boxing.
Where's the fight night? Let's broadcast it for 'em.
It's at,
It's over at the
DoubleTree.
DoubleTree
Okay.
in Andover.
Yeah.
Okay.
On Friday night, 6 o'clock, I think.
Doors open at 5.
Doors open at 5, yeah. Lawrence
Okay.
Exchange Club's home.
So, you're not doing anything Friday night? Get over to the DoubleTree.
Yeah.
Help support a worthy
Yeah,
cause, right?
It really is good, and they
Amen.
have, they
Multiple
have a,
bouts, different weight classifications, and they go like 3 rounds.
Yeah. That's good because
Yep.
I could have fought in 3 different weight classifications by this time. That's the. So let's talk about another event. Don't go into the main event here that we want to
No,
talk
no,
about.
no. All right.
every year we do a fundraiser at the golf course, not the local golf course.
Right.
We do it at JG's, a mini golf course.
In
Got it.
memory of Arthur Hutton.
And memory
do,
of
yeah.
Arthur. And but we do it as both a fundraiser as well as a way to give back to some of the kids, because we invite all the kids from St. Anne's
I love that.
to come. They play a round of mini golf. They get a Sunday.
Yeah.
And they are like the happiest on earth because they get to play. It's usually in September. It's usually
October.
cold.
It's October at the end of their season.
Yeah.
But they are so kind to us.
Those Jafritas, they know.
They-
Those guys are great guys. And,
know-
and one of them's a member,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they help us out.
Yeah.
You sponsor
do.
a hole. The
I
last,
do.
All the
I
mayors
do.
have always sponsored
did.
a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And gave us some money for some tickets.
I did.
And-
well, because I love the fact. So I love sponsoring a hole. That's easy work too. But the fact that you talked about, the kids from St. Anne's get to come play.
They get
They
to
do. I
think that's
they benefit from
irreplaceable,
it.
right?
They benefit
Yeah.
from
You're
it.
putting a fun event in a kid's life where.
And all they say is, "Hey, thanks, Exchange Club.
I know.
You're bringing us to play mini
Yeah.
golf again. We
Yeah.
get out of there for a night."
I know.
You know.
No
They
kidding.
have a good time.
They have a good time. They're
And
well
we-
behaved.
and we have a
And we
good
have a good time
time.
as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, we do.
And
And we raise a few bucks.
we do.
Yeah. Is he a good golfer?
No.
He doesn't play. Well, I don't know if he plays. We
I'm a
collect the
horrible
money
golfer.
and
Yeah.
we're there to see the kids play and
You know, and you talk about our big event, which we'll get into in a little bit.
Yeah.
We didn't do that big event for 3 years because of COVID.
COVID, yeah.
And to let you know how bad COVID was, in today's day and age, with the cost of everything, Mayor, to raise money in a nonprofit is very hard.
Amen.
It's very, very hard.
Amen.
To raise money during COVID was extremely hard.
Amen.
So we missed out on a lot of fundraising for 3 years because
Yeah.
we couldn't hold that big event we'll
Yeah.
talk about later.
All right.
But,
So let's get into the big event.
the big event?
Let's talk the big event because it's not far off now, is it?
No, it's May the 22nd.
May the 22nd. So mark that in your date book because when the mayor comes next week, until May 22nd, he's going to have a slide in the package that talks about this event.
All right, so it's
Right.
the Taste of Methuen,
Yeah, the taste.
and it's held at the National Guard Armory, 679 Lowell Street in Methuen,
Yep.
from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Last year we had 22 restaurants or food vendors.
Yep.
Hopefully we've had a couple that have gone now.
Yeah.
Cindy Panasian's gone.
Yeah.
she retired.
She
I miss her.
retired, so we
Yeah.
miss her already.
Yeah. Me too.
Hopefully the new owners from Borelli's will step up and take over where Don left off,
Yep.
because Don was with us for years.
We'll
When
lean
you
on
talk
him a
when you
little.
talk to that place you just came from dinner,
Yeah. Absolutely.
ask Jocelyn if she'd like, because we'll
Absolutely.
go drop a packet off to her.
Absolutely. Please do.
Because we're looking for some.
But these restaurants, we feel weird asking them,
No, I know.
but they give.
They do.
And, we don't ask them, we ask them to give us a dish. All right. We don't ask them what they have to make.
Yep.
They can make what they want.
Yep.
But they're so generous because, it's all free.
Yeah.
We don't, you are gracious to let us, not have to pay the town anything,
Yeah.
which I think is wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you.
And, but all the money that we raise goes to our programs.
Yeah. Well, that's the important part of it, right? So,
All of it, yeah.
So the restaurants give, and so that's a little bit, Linda, why I said the thing I said in the beginning, right? These restaurants, and to your point, Jack,
They suffered during COVID as well.
They suffered during COVID as well. And
they still
one of the
gave.
things the state came after me was I refunded all their liquor licenses that first year. And I did that simply because, and I say it categorically, the state made me pay it back. There was a big hoopla over it. I finally got to talk to the governor before he went to his NCAA job. And I said to him, You don't understand, Governor, what it's like to be a business on a border community. All right? You're mandating shutdown for, all my restaurants, and yet 300 yards away, you can throw a stone to a restaurant that's open.
Do anything you want.
Right.
A mile away.
Make up your own rules, right? Yeah. And I said, there has to be a little bit more consideration when we make these decisions about people who live on the edge like that. So, I refunded the liquor license. We ended up having to pay it back. It was a mistake, but
it's a good mistake.
I would tell you, it was done with the best intentions.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I mean.
Because they really suffered, right? And the fact that so many of them stayed with us and are still with us,
right,
is really rewarding, right? Because we could have lost a lot of them.
So like Linda said, they provide this food for nothing.
They do.
Okay, and you've gone to a lot of tastes.
I have
someplace else. I'm sure they used to give you a little plate.
Yeah.
No, you see the plates
Absolutely.
we give when they say how many people, and I go 400. And it was last year. Jersey Mike's went 400.
Yeah.
How am I going to feed 400 people? I said, well, you're going to have to get creative.
Yeah.
But he had a ball.
Yeah.
He had a ball. He just said, if I take a bunch of subs and just cut them up.
Absolutely.
That's all you got to do.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A, same thing.
Well, because there's so much food there.
Right.
Chick-fil-A.
There is. Chick-fil-A came.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the vendors.
Harrow's Chicken Pies.
Harrow's Chicken Pies. Very, very generous man.
Yeah.
When he called me the first year, Neil, years ago, and he said, I want to be in the Taste of Methuen. I said, who are you? He says, I own Harrow's. I said, why do you want to come all the way from North Reading to Methuen?
Yeah.
He says, well, I'm opening up a branch in Methuen, and I like to be known in the town that I have a facility.
Yeah.
And
He's
Harrow's Chicken Pie.
very generous to us. He'll call me, can we do something at St. Anne's Home? So we start doing chicken pie nights over there.
Yeah.
Very nice guy, Wally. I don't know if you've met Wally.
I have.
Okay, so
That's
so you get a
terrific.
big plate. We have we get baskets, donated. We're going to talk about baskets tonight
they
at our
raffle
meeting.
things
They raffle
too.
things up. We have a 50-50. We do very, very well.
Yep.
And the National Guard is a great facility to have that
It is.
event.
It is.
Okay.
We
Right
like
across
the
from
fact that it's in Methuen, and we are serving Methuen restaurants.
Yep.
We want to keep it local. We want to keep it because,
All our
again,
business.
these are all restaurants that have worked hard and that are in Methuen, and we want them to get people to come to them.
We do.
We're
going to stop here for a second and say, we're halfway through the program, believe it or not, already. May 22nd from
6
to
p.m.
9.
6 to 9.
6 to 9.
Yep.
Right?
679 Lowell
mark your
Street,
calendar.
National Guard Armory.
Can they
Methuen.
buy tickets in advance?
Yes. So there's two
That's
ways.
the preferable way.
That's the preferable way. We don't have Venmo yet. Preferable way, or they can leave a message on our Facebook page, and Stephanie will monitor that and get somebody the tickets. She'll read a message because you can't see somebody's name and address and phone number online through the message, I guess. I don't have Facebook. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or they can call myself or Linda. They can call me at 978-314-5081.
Say it again slowly.
978-314-5081. That's my cell phone
It
number.
came out bossy, but
That's okay.
Yeah.
And
And
I'll go
mine,
drive the tickets over there or
Yeah.
meet them somewhere. And Linda's information?
and my cell phone is 978-618-1828.
She did a much better job than you.
Or they can go visit her
Or
at the branch.
That is
There you
right. 9 Jackson Street, M&T Bank.
Yeah.
Usually I have all the tickets. Jack and I meet every other day to
busy.
go over what tickets are, out there or what we have still for sale. And last year we sold out.
Yeah.
400 people.
That I remember. Right?
Ticket
The place was
prices,
packed. Yeah.
ticket prices, $40. You can go to 22 restaurants, hopefully, for $40.
Where can you do that
You
elsewhere?
can't.
Right?
Okay? $20 for 16 and under. Under 5 is free.
Wow.
Okay? Because a lot of, can we bring the kids?
So, not to, but you've got all different kind of restaurants there, different.
We have
flavors.
Man Orchards with apple crisp usually.
The Fitzgeralds,
Ice
they're
cream,
awesome.
ice cream from the Jeffritas at
The
JG's.
Jeffritas, they're
Okay.
wonderful guys. Yep.
George from Heavenly Donuts.
George, I
I can't take any more pastry and coffee,
yeah.
and he gives us coffee, decaf, and tea, and pastries galore.
Yeah.
Okay. The restaurants.
Cavastanos.
No.
Salvatore's.
Salvatore's came with us last year.
Yep.
Yep.
Michael, the new owner over
Yep.
there, he was honored. He told me at the end, I'll be
He's a
back
great
next
guy.
year. Great guy. So he's the owner of Salvatore's
Yep.
in Lawrence. He loved it. He came with his
If I
nephew.
could just move the town line
I know.
Yeah.
just past.
So
Fireside?
the Fireside,
Yeah.
they'll be there.
They, Tom and Derek, wonderful people.
Oh,
They
great
are.
people.
Right.
Great people. The Irish Cottage where we meet.
Coley,
Muddy Waters.
Muddy Waters,
Okay. George's Bakery.
George's Bakery. Yeah.
Jen. Brad
I
was
sound
over
like a
there today.
cheerleader. I'm just repeating everything
Yeah,
you
no,
say.
that's okay. I'm just trying to think. Oh, I'm going to miss somebody. I know.
We're going to miss a
We're gonna-
lot.
We're going to miss a lot. So,
Well, but the point is, there's a wide variety of food types.
Oh, God.
You've got
the
like
Olive
main
Garden.
courses and desserts.
Yep.
I mean, it's one place. You pay $40 for a ticket. You're hard pressed to go to dinner today,
right.
any place, and pay $40
Yeah.
and get everything, including a dessert.
right.
You
Right.
might get a plate,
Yeah.
okay? But when you're going up to a restaurant or one of the vendors, you're not only having your plate, but you're having a little bowl, or you're having a
Yeah,
little this
yeah,
and
yeah,
a little that.
yeah.
And, some people, I'm going to go and get this first because I'm going to go back for this.
I'm going to pace myself. Yeah.
They're going to pace themselves.
yeah.
And, I've been to other tastes of, and we have seating, and
Yep.
we provide the water,
You do.
and, we want to make sure that
Beer
they're
and
going
wine.
to have a good time
Yeah. Yeah.
when they're there,
Yeah.
and nobody is going to leave hungry.
And we do. Everybody does. So I'm going to pause and say again, get your tickets in advance, right? Because once it's sold out, it's sold out.
And we don't sell them at the door. It's too
Right.
chaotic.
Right. Well, so anybody who's been to one of the tastes would understand that, right?
Yes.
Selling them at the door would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
And people will start lining up about 5 o'clock because they want to get in those doors. And, we have to wait.
We have to wait till the health inspectors come in and
Yep.
do their due diligence,
Do their due
because
diligence,
we don't
yep.
want anybody getting sick.
Right.
Nope.
And when
Right.
you're transporting food,
Yep.
anything can happen. But we've never had an incident. Those people were wonderful last year.
Yeah.
She said, not until I give you the thumbs up. I looked over. The thumbs up came. I looked at my watch. It was 6 o'clock on the nose.
Yeah.
So we
That's
started.
great. Hey, look at your names on the screen. Jack MacLeod, Exchange Club. Does Linda's get on the screen when she's speaking? I didn't even look. Can we
Neither did I.
Let's focus on Linda for a minute.
Oh.
Let's put her name up there. Have we got her name? No?
You got to say something.
Did I
Linda.
put you on the spot? There it is. Look
Oh,
at
Linda
look at
Buell.
Methuen Community
And he's
Studios.
also
right
right.
on the
Alrighty.
thing.
Very
Yeah.
good.
So May 22nd, 6 to 9 p.m. Tickets are available now.
Yes.
Don't wait. Right? I'll tell you a story. So last year, the mayor almost made a mistake. Thought he had purchased, and then fortunately, I have some voices of reason around me, and they said, "Hey, you're not, you don't." So I ended up buying a table, but almost got nixed out of it, and that won't happen this year,
No, I know it won't.
right?
I wasn't worried. We were gonna.
I will have my table well in advance.
What's funny, we usually panic.
Yeah.
We'll panic probably the beginning of May, saying, "Okay,
We don't have enough.
We don't have enough. All right, we need to stop
Yeah.
pushing." I can remember telling Brad or even Arthur, "Arthur, you're gonna have to get on the phone.
Yeah.
You gotta get some people in here."
Yeah.
And we always
Yeah.
did very well, and the city of Methuen supports us.
City of Methuen loves you guys.
You know what it was? Before Arthur passed away, he
Yeah.
said to me, "Hey, National Guardsman, go figure out how to get that building up there."
Yeah.
That's what he told me.
Well, that was a good get.
So I go up there, and they're like, "Who are you? Where you from?" I said, "Well, first of all, I'm retired from the National
Right.
Guard." "Oh, okay." So, I mean, we get a good deal out of them.
How much do they use that building? I always wonder that. I
So
don't
a
even
lot
know.
of people ask that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it does not
it's
seem to be very active. Let me put it that way.
well, it's a big unit that's there.
Yeah.
The 101st Engineers are there, combat
Okay.
engineers. They're there. Okay, and they deployed a lot this
Yeah.
year. And so when they come back, they have some type of ceremonies, and
Yeah.
there'll be like 300 of them.
Wow.
They need a building that'll hold 300.
Yeah.
Most of the equipment's outside in the back. You don't see it.
You're correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
but so they have different events there at National Guard events throughout the state, and that's one of the newest ones. It's not the newest, but it's probably like the second newest
Yeah.
Army National Guard facility.
Yeah.
They need to tear down the old one out front,
Right.
but I think it's got some historical value. I don't know what it is.
Probably does.
It does.
And it's
Absolutely.
falling apart though.
So for people that are wondering, so this is up 110.
Yep.
Directly across from where Charles has his hairdresser. Charles's hairdresser salon is on the other side.
Charles Auto Sales is on the other side.
And then you've got, well, they're two different people.
Okay, all right.
But then you've got,
MKS is just before it.
correct. and my chiropractor is right across the street.
Okay.
And MKS is very
Very supportive
good to
of
us.
us.
Yeah.
Okay.
They let us park our overflow there because there's usually no parking.
Yeah.
Because
after
the
we
park,
fill it up.
Lessons learned all the time.
Amen.
If we did something wrong, tell us. There's not enough parking.
Right, right,
Okay, so
right.
we took that to heed,
Right.
and I went over and
One time we didn't have coffee.
one time we didn't have coffee years ago. Oh my
Yeah.
God, we didn't have coffee.
Yeah. End of the world.
End of the world.
Yeah.
Where's the water?
Yeah.
Okay, we got the water. Okay.
Yeah.
I went over to MKS, and the guy was like, absolutely not, unless you indemnify yourself in case somebody hits something in the parking lot and this and that. So we had to pull another
Yeah.
$1 million liability policy.
Yeah.
But the national office gave us one for nothing.
Thank God.
They said, you already have one, and I couldn't use the one we had that, it was with the city and the,
Yep.
and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
So let's talk a little bit. If any restaurateur is watching,
Yeah.
you're interested in having them as part of the team.
Yeah, call us at those cell phone numbers.
And there's multiple ways you can help support. So even if you can't provide food, you can donate some
Donate a
baskets.
basket,
Yeah.
Donate some gift cards to your establishment.
Yeah. So while this event is going on, fantastic as it is, there's baskets and gift cards being raffled off. I mean, it's
hectic.
And
quite the
Jack talks
atmosphere.
all night,
Literally.
literally.
Yeah.
I'm talking to try to sell the tickets, though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
To raise the revenue, because
Yeah.
that's how we pay for all these programs
Yeah.
and scholarships and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the posters should be out. We're going to flood the town with some posters pretty soon. Probably in another 10 days, we'll have the posters ready. Once we
Right.
have the cutoff of who's coming for restaurants,
Yeah.
we'll have some posters made, and we'll put those up, and it'll have all that information. And on the poster, it'll give us, the date, the time, the tickets, the phone numbers.
Yep.
What restaurants are coming? All
That's
their logos
great.
will be on the poster.
That's great.
Okay, so we'll
Yeah.
get those printed up.
Well, it's a fantastic event. And so don't take my word for it. Get out there and experience it yourself, and give, if it's positive feedback, give it to Linda. If it's negative feedback, give it to Jack.
Son of a
But,
gun.
come participate in the event. I actually was talking to, oh God, don't get old. The battery company that just came to Methuen. Don't get old, your mayor's getting old. So she was asking me, she's a PhD from Cornell. And she was saying, how can we, I said, listen, I'm going to tell you that this short path, participate in community events. Whether it's something like the Taste or fireworks on July 8th, get out there, get your company seen by people, let them know that you want to be part of this community, right? That's the way.
We try to go to a lot of things. That's,
You do. You do.
Great Court, we go up there in the fall,
You
Fall
do.
Fest.
Yeah, I was just going to say, right?
That's 400 hot dogs. They're gone.
Yeah. 399 if the mayor wasn't there.
Well,
So, and that's a great event, right?
Yep.
But like I said, this is the Super Bowl, right?
it's our largest event.
For your fundraising.
Yeah, it's
right?
our largest fundraising event.
I want to go back to one other thing that Linda said earlier.
Yeah.
With you talked about the give a flag away. I really like that idea. So did that spring from the national organization, or is
National.
that?
It's a program in national. It's called Give a Kid a Flag to Wave. When you first see the words, it's all together.
Yeah.
And you go, what the hell does that
Yeah,
say?
yeah.
It's Give a Kid a Flag to Wave. So one year Linda says, yeah, but we're Methuen. We
Yeah.
give everybody a flag to
Amen.
wave.
Amen.
And you've
well,
seen
one
us
of the
at the
things I'm going to
parades.
ask for your
Yep.
help on
Yep.
is, so the Memorial Day parade is well attended.
Mm-hmm.
So not so much the Veterans Day parade.
Right.
So we've got to do a better job as a community showing our veterans that we really appreciate what they've done for us, right? To the mayor, it is embarrassing to participate in a parade where the participants outweigh the watchers, if you will.
It is true.
No, it is true.
Right?
The Veterans
Yeah.
Day parade is sad. It is a
Yeah.
little sad. And I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
The
So we've
Memorial
gotta-
Day
we've
parade.
got to do a
I
better
don't know if it's
job.
the weather. I don't know if it's the weather, Mayor. I don't know.
It
Might
may
the
be,
weather.
Jack, right? But
Well,
we've gotta
this
do
is
a
only
better
the
job.
second year that we've
That
actually
we've
given out
participated.
flags.
Yeah.
But
Well, and I saw you guys doing it. That's why I said that. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I would like to appeal to a lot of younger parents in the community and say, yeah, it may not be a national holiday. Excuse me, it is a national holiday. It may not. Some places don't give it off from work.
Right.
It's a great opportunity to get out and say thank you to our veterans for for what they've done.
Correct.
To what you guys said earlier, just like you talked about the police and fire, people put their lives on the line so that we can maintain the method of life that we've chosen, right?
I have a brother-in-law that is a veteran, and he always tells me that when he goes out for breakfast on Veterans Day, he gets a free breakfast.
Right.
And so they honor the veterans, and so why can't the town honor the veterans just as well, and get the people out there to support the parade.
Amen. As they should be, right?
I think so.
I mean, Ronnie Marson was mad at me for years because I never went to his free breakfast.
Yeah.
And I used to say to him, typically, I'd say, Ronnie, I can afford to go out and have a breakfast. I don't need to I want you at my breakfast. Well, I showed up last year, and he hugged me. I mean, God bless Ronnie. His health's better right now. But he does an awful lot for veterans, as you know.
So he was at Jocelyn's with me minutes ago. So he was the one who kind of coordinated from the city side. So
So the bunch of you go down from City Hall?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So great event. But, so I would say this to you. I would love to talk to you guys and Paul Jensen and get some people together and say, how do we make this
bigger?
More impactful and respectful for our veterans?
I'd be willing to help out.
Because I think
Paul shoots me a bunch of emails all the time because he's looking for some ideas for in June up at Forest Lake. So I gave him a couple of ideas. I mean, and he appreciated that. So
hopefully not caviar.
No.
All right.
No.
Because then he comes and says, "Mayor, can you give me?"
No. Well, one of the things I said, why don't you just call the National Guard and see if you can get some vehicles up there as a static display?
That's a great idea.
Static display as they position all these vehicles and the
kids. And he gets a ton of support.
He does.
From our firefighters, from our local firefighters.
And I also told them to tap into the JROTC.
Amen.
You know what they could do he says, what could they do up there? I said, they could go over to the veteran that can't walk over to go get his hot dog or whatever and take his order and get it for him.
Amen.
He said, well, you got some
good
good
ideas.
ideas.
Can't walk by himself.
Well, that's okay.
So they do the flag exchanges at the ceremony at cemeteries too, right?
Yep.
And they do that. It amazes me that they do.
I was there last
like
year.
6,000
in a couple of hours.
Right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. But let's sow some, and this goes out to the community as well. Let's sow some thoughts into how can we get more people involved in, watching the Veterans Day Parade, right? To show the respect that our veterans truly deserve. Because I think if you brought 100 people from the city on here, from all walks of life, and you said to them, do you have an appreciation? They're going to tell you, yeah, absolutely, right? So we just got to do a little bit better job, right? And you're right. It may be some of it may be weather situated. I noticed that the Santa Parade this year, the weather forecast was iffy,
right? So
the attendance was lower than it has been, right? I'll be interested to see if that's a theme or whatever. Because on the opposite side of the coin, the July 8th fireworks event is just. We could not have stumbled into a better thing if we tried.
By having it a week later? 4 days later.
By the fireworks company tell us, we don't have enough people to shoot them off in every city.
Right.
So you're going to have to wait. And that first year, that's how we got to July 8th. And we had it July 8th, and we were like, look at this. There's people from everywhere here, right?
Well, that's because nobody else is
done
having
July 4th, right? Yeah. So I'm going to go back for people again. Taste of Methuen, May 22nd, and I promise you both, every week hereafter on the Mayor's Show, I will have a slide pumping the tires, advertising, because you're going to see. We're going to take a little short 5-minute break here, where the Mayor has to talk about upcoming events, and then we're going to come back to you guys and say, what message do you want to leave with the community? What is it? Because you haven't said what I expected you to say, Jack, which is we want members. We want people to join.
Yeah, well, we're always looking for members. We just had our membership drive last meeting.
Yeah.
I think we got 3 or 4 new members.
You have one of my favorite people in the city of Methuen on your Exchange Club board.
Oh, I know who that is.
Who is it?
Christina.
She's a
good person.
She is.
No,
she's everywhere.
She's everywhere,
the salt of the earth, that young lady. Love her.
Yep.
Love her. All right, let's do the upcoming events. Methuen Community Studios said, Mayor, stay on the script. Go ahead, flash those up if you would, MCS. All right, so the listening tour. So I want to say this. We did 2 listening tours, and, we had some people saying, why are you doing this? It's just going to be a gripe session. No, they weren't. So the first two were done in the east end of the city. Outstanding. Did people bring concerns and issues? Absolutely. But they were fantastic sessions. We are planning, when we finish the listening tours, to put a newsletter out, taking all the inputs that people gave us and say, hey, here's what we heard, here's what we're doing to kind of address that. And I got to be honest with you, I've had a great time, and I've talked too much at each of them. Right? We need you to come out. So Tuesday, April 9th, from 6:30 to 8, we'll be at the Irish Cottage on Branch Street, Methuen. Thank you, Coley Ryan, for letting us do that. Thank you, Mr. Tamacchio, for letting us do Borelli's for the first one. He even put out a plate of sandwiches for people. And then we had the second one at the Merrimack Valley Golf Club. Thank you to the caterers. All these people that we're talking about, the backbone of the community, right? So
Right.
Listening tour Tuesday, April 9th, and then again Tuesday, April 23rd at the Sweetheart Inn. So what we're doing is we did the East End first, now the West End, and then we're going to do the Central. And the intent there is to show, or to help people understand, because I take the department heads with me. So it's a chance for you want to talk to the Community Development Director, Jack Wilson, come to the listening session, right? But things are different depending on where you live. You live in the East, you live in the West, you live in the Central, different concerns. We want to be aware of all of them so that you can understand, like working with our police force, what are the kind of things we need to do to make it a little bit easier in each of these communities. Okay, next. The Riverside Boat Ramp is open. That is not an April Fool's joke. And so get on down. Yeah, it says Monday, April 1st. It is open. So it's open daily from Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4:30, and Friday from 8 to noon. I'm not sure. City Hall closes at noon, not the mayor. Any other times you can call the Methuen Police Business Line, and they will let you know the status of the boat ramp. But the state did a fabulous job on the boat ramp here. So get out there and use it as the weather turns better. Never mind that we're going to get 2 to 4 inches of snow tomorrow. That's what they're saying.
We're not going to get any.
I hope you're right. But I'll go back to my dad again. He used to call it snow in March and April. He called poor man's fertilizer. So next slide, please.
I grew up in that same era. All those sayings were the same in every
Been
family.
forever, yeah. So the leaf yard waste pickup, here's the good news here. The city now owns a packer truck, so I never have to listen to that again. Hopefully, if the packer truck breaks down, the mayor will have a nervous breakdown. We have our own. It starts the 8th. I believe it says on here the 8th. Yeah, Monday, April 8th, and ends Saturday, November 30th. That is the longest stretch of lawn and leaf pickup we've ever done.
So yeah. Like 3/4 of the year.
Amen. Now, because we own our own vehicle. Weather permitting, of course, you have to use
in one vehicle
either the paper bags, or you can use a plastic barrel marked as yard waste. And we have the orange stickers at City Hall. And then there's the holidays down below, because invariably somebody calls the mayor's office on April 16th and says, my recycles did get picked up yesterday. And I always answer saying, yes, I know. And they say, you do? I said, yes, because yesterday was a holiday. So we can pick up anybody's, right? So there's the schedule. Please make use of this. We want you to use it. We've heard a lot of feedback in past years. This is the longest, as Jack said, we've been able to do lawn and leaf pickup, and it's a good thing. Next slide. Street sweeping. Now, this is how the mayor's minds work. Why we put precincts on this one and not on the previous one is beyond me, right? So for yard waste, we tell you, it gets picked up with your recycle. Why we couldn't say, because I don't think a lot of people know their precincts.
So many streets.
6.
Right? What is it?
Precinct 6.
All right.
3.
Well, yeah, but don't you guys work you work the voting booths, don't you? Don't you?
I did this year for the first
Yeah,
time.
I
I
was
worked
gonna
up at the Marsh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had fun.
Andrew and says thanks.
Oh, yeah. Sweetheart.
All right. Please don't make piles in the street. That doesn't help the sweeper. But there's the schedule. If you need to know what precincts are, call Jack MacLeod.
No.
He'll go through it with you.
I want to know the paving of the streets. Is that up here, too?
The paving, so I love that you brought that up. That is going to come up Not this coming Monday, the next Monday, City
Okay.
Council. So what's going to happen is the city is going to present to council, here's what we think we ought to do. And so we have 1.1 million Chapter 90 money from the state,
Yeah.
which is a drop in the bucket. And the mayor has put $4 million into the capital improvement plan.
Okay.
So we're going to spend $5.1 million for the next 5 years paving roads and sidewalks in the city of Methuen. Right? So whoever becomes mayor after the mayor will probably get some good press for road conditions. And that's okay by
That's
the
how
mayor.
it works.
Right. But we're going to present the plan, and I love
Yeah.
you said that. And city council is going to get to wait, get constituent feedback, and they get to sub if they choose. Now, here's the danger in that. I say this at every listening session. We paved Oakland Avenue top to bottom last year, a complete redo. What did it cost the city?
I have no idea. A lot of money.
$1.1 million.
Okay.
So the entire Chapter 90 accoutrement for the state, if we hit, could be wiped out on one road.
But they just dug it up for the new gas lines.
Oh, please, don't get me going. So
It's crazy.
you're going to see the mayor going
Yeah.
to city council asking for the ordinance to raise the amount that utilities get fined because they did Charles Street right behind City Hall. It looks like a jigsaw patch, right? We've got to stop doing that, right? There's got to be greater coordination between the utilities
no.
and the
Better-
paving
You're
companies.
right.
Better planning.
Yeah, absolutely. Better planning, right? Okay, next, please. Sorry, I got off topic. It's Jack's fault. You got events at the senior activity. We had Ashley Shaheen on here. What a breath of fresh air. And I told her, you know, you're replacing two legends in Linda Sheehan and Corinne, right? But she's off and running, that young lady. So we've got Thursday, April 9th. Join them to watch the eclipse. Make sure you have your special glasses. And then Volunteer Appreciation Week is April 15th. There's a lot planned there. And then April 30th, 1 p.m., 45s, us versus them, the Methuen Police Department. So the mayor wants in on that. The mayor's a 45 junkie, right?
You live in Merrimack Valley if you play 45.
When is
Amen.
that?
April 30th. Let's get it. Let's go in, right?
Yeah.
We can clean house. We'll get them to bet.
I'll play 45s, would you?
All right. Excellent.
Do you need people to play?
You got it. No, well, absolutely. Absolutely. You and I, we qualify as seniors. Next
You
slide.
do now.
I do.
May 9th is the Arts and Crafts Festival, always a big hit. There's a jewelry sale in the lobby at 8:30. At 10 o'clock, there's the grand opening for the celebration of Older Americans Month. And then at 1 p.m., the Happy Hearts Chorus. And then June 14th, the Methuen Senior Activity Center celebrates its 40th anniversary. What's not up there is the mayor will be hosting an ice cream social at the Senior Center. I think it's May 15th, right? So I'm going to reach out to my friends at the Jafritas and say, I'll pay, you play. And they got...
They're the
So
best.
The mayor loves them because they got grape nut ice cream only after he hounds them, right? Mayor's an addict for grape nut. Next slide. Skate and read, yeah, every Tuesday and Thursday, March 12th to May 30th. I won't go through this. Next slide. I'm running out of time. The Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, get your kids involved. There's true benefits to this. If you look at some of the Eagle Scout projects that have been done over the last couple of years in Methuen, unbelievable, right? So Mondays at St. Lucy's, Tuesdays at the VFW. If you need more information, contacts on there. Email contacts, reach out and ask. Next slide. Next slide is an eye chart for the mayor. I do know that one of the things on, so this is all about April vacation on the left-hand side, Lego Masters. That's sold out early in February vacation. Get involved.
That is an eye.
There's also one for Pokemon. There's a Sports Zone 101, and there's a public skate session. All these sites listed on the rec website, MethuenRec.com. On the right-hand side, some spring programs that aren't just April vacation, including co-ed volleyball, t-ball, soccer shots, and youth football leagues. A lot being done for our youth. Plus, I'm told that the LED lights at the Burnham Road are going to be changed here pretty shortly in time for
Softball.
our softball season for our young ladies, and they deserve it. And there's some other things, including a fence and some additional landscaping, if you will. Next
All right.
slide.
So you passed the test, your eye test. You
I
did
only
very
know
well.
what's there, Linda, because I saw it previous weeks, right? I'm just going from, and we got our youth lacrosse registration, our 2024 summer clinic, August 6th through 8th, 2024. The lacrosse is the fastest growing sport in America. Nothing close to it.
No.
Oh,
Nationals.
come on down and learn how to play the game. Next, youth soccer. Summer programs coming June 24th to 28th, August 12th to 16th. Registration opening soon. Check it out, MethuenSoccer.org. Next. This one. So we would like to have somebody from the Exchange Club on the Tricentennial Committee. So this is a not mayor directed. So this is a group of, we had a group of citizens who did the 250th that did one hell of a job.
They did.
We want to have the same, I was looking through the pictures, Linda, the other day. So many really good people that have gone, right? But they did fantastic work. In fact, Jack, you and I had this discussion. Lord Tenney came to the city for that, right? And he drove in that police cruiser that's now used in the parade, right? And he was driven by my father.
Your father.
Yep.
With his pearl handles.
So we want to leave the Tricentennial up to the citizens.
Yeah.
Right? Let's talk about, do we do a parade? Do we do a ball? Do we do other events?
Do
What
something.
kind of thing? It's 300 years.
Could do multiple things.
Amen. Amen. And
That's a
you
big
could
number.
also be proud to have a flag, right? So I think that's the red. If I got any more charts? That it? Did I hit them all? I think that's it. Yeah.
job.
And so next week, there'll be a chart there that says, Taste of Methuen.
Okay.
How to get your tickets, here's the phone number, et cetera, et cetera. That's my pledge to you. All right, so we're running a little bit long because the mayor's chatty. What one thing, and I'll give you both the turn, what one thing would you want the audience to remember about the Methuen Exchange Club? What's the message?
The message is we're open to all. Anybody that wants to join, the more the merrier. I mean, younger generation with better ideas. I mean, we keep doing the repeats over and over and over, and some of them work and some of
You
them
go
don't.
with what works, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so some young blood with some younger ideas.
Yeah.
Is what I would say.
Great point.
We have an old friend of ours that has passed on. His name is Greg Dabrocki. And Greg used to tell us that we're a group of men and women that live and work in the city of Methuen, and we just do good things.
You do.
Good stuff, he said. That's what he said.
Good stuff.
Good
But
stuff.
it's true.
No, it's true. Yeah.
Okay, we do.
Yeah.
And it's just all good people.
Yeah.
And there's young, old. My daughter got raised in the club. I mean, she's now 30, but she was a little tyke when she first started coming to meetings. And we have 2 little ones now that come every week,
Yeah.
and they're part of our family.
Yeah.
So yes, we will welcome, anybody that is interested in helping us to do good things in the city of Methuen.
Yeah. And promote Americanism. I keep going back to that. So
Absolutely.
No,
great.
you're right.
So I
You're right.
appreciate you guys coming on the show today.
Thanks for having us, man.
You're great guests. We'll get you back on. Good luck on the taste. As you know,
Thank
the mayor
you.
will be there, and he will sponsor some things. But looking forward to that. But really appreciate what you guys do for this community.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
think that's the blessing. Is we really are fortunate that we've got so many people that really want to do good things for the community, right? So take advantage of it. Don't forget that the mayor said get out to Jocelyn's tonight for a little bite to eat if you can, and tell them I sent you. I had a skewer of
I'm
chicken.
going to go see her next week with a
Yeah.
packet and say the mayor sent me.
There you go.
For the
And
taste of
they'll be
Methuen.
there. So next week, I'm trying to think. It's not the 2 chiefs for a while. We've had to postpone because our police chief got accepted to this prestigious school in Quantico, Virginia. So he's in that school for 10 weeks.
The FBI Academy or
The
something.
FBI Academy.
Yeah.
And we're pretty happy he's there. He's done a fantastic job. So we'll bring the fire
amazing.
chief on and talk about putting fires out. So big fire in Methuen last night, right? And I
Doesn't
want-
know where. Lowell Street. That's
Lowell
big
Street.
street.
so, I drove it looking for it. I was like, Well, if the fire chief was in town, he would have called me and said we had a fire at, you know. They know the second question is going to be, did we use the drone? So the police department has a drone, and I'm all about shared usage, right? So when you get a fire like that, we had a fire last year right in the square
Oh,
on
yeah.
Hampshire Street.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. Just as the firefighters were about to kick the door in, what's it called when it flashes back?
Blowback or something.
Blowback,
Yeah.
right? It blew the door open. People could have got killed, right? And so what I said is, we got to do a better job using some of the tools we have, like a drone. Get it up above the fire, looking in, so you know what's going on in there, right? If you could see, because the roof was coming off. All right, so thank you to Jack and Linda. You're welcome back anytime. Jack, my office is always open to talk about reopening Merrimack Park Drive-In or Prospect
We
Hill
got to
Dairy.
get New Balance out of the way then.
Yeah. It was a fantastic
We'll
place.
keep New Balance.
Yeah. If I ever told you the cars that we went in when I was a kid, oh my God, a Corvair, 8 people in a Corvair,
Remember
bodies sticking out
the things
everywhere.
you used to pull?
Yeah. All right, so thank you to Jack and Linda. Patronize the taste, patronize the city's business sponsors. They do so much for everybody, our sports teams, our youth, etc. So let them know you care. And we're back here next week on Mayor's Minutes. God bless you. Stay healthy. Stay out of the rain. Current forecast is 2 to 4 inches. We're hoping for less. Take care. We'll see you back here next week.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor.